Oh my gosh, you'll never believe what I found. I have to show you this. This is a lab from World War II, and there are some very gruesome things in here.
Oh really? What is it? I've heard of the evil experiments carried out, but I don't know the details.
Actually, before I tell you about the World War II experiments, let me show you what's been done in our own country.
This is the hospital room of Virginia Buck. She was involved in the Supreme Court case called Buck versus Bell. Now, she was the first woman to be sterilized in Virginia.
Oh my gosh, that is horrible. Why would anyone get sterilized?
Well, the sterilizations all began with Harry H. Laughlin. Let me take you to the first Race Betterment Conference, where Henry H. Laughlin talks about his model law. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you my model law. It encompasses the sterilization laws that have been used by 30 states to build our improved human race. Socially inadequate individuals be sterilized. These include those who are feeble-minded, poop, and prone to disease and criminality. Let me show you some pedigrees that I have been analyzing. See here, there's my line of normal individual and my line of degenerate individuals. These degenerate individuals will be sent for sterilization underneath my model law.
Oh my gosh, Laughlin's ideas are horrible. Where did these ideas originate?
It's called Eugenics. Laughlin is part of the Galton Society, which is named after Sir Francis Galton, the founder of Eugenics. Galton published a book called Hereditary Genius in 1869, presenting his idea of eugenics, which is Greek for good and origin. He promoted fit individuals to have more children, which he called positive eugenics. Others, like Laughlin, Margaret Sanger, took eugenics even further and started negative eugenics. Okay, now seriously, knock it off and listen. I have more to show you.
Okay. Wait, Margaret Sanger? Isn't she like the founder of Planned Parenthood?
Oh yes, and this is Margaret Sanger's first clinic, where she promoted women to take birth control and get abortions to eliminate those quote-unquote unfit individuals.
Oh yeah, you never told me about the things you found in this World War II lab.
Oh yes, they have records of these sterilization experiments performed at concentration camps, where they tried to find ways to sterilize hundreds of people at once. In some experiments, they used surgery, drugs, and radiation. They found that injections of iodine and silver nitrate would sterilize individuals, but horrible side effects were shown, including cervical cancer. So they ended up resorting to radiation treatments, which would also have side effects. They would leave radiation burns on its patients. And they ended up sterilizing hundreds of thousands of individuals.
Oh my god, the similarities between Laughlin's model law and Hitler's sterilization laws are disturbing.
And you think this is all in the past, but it isn't.
You mean eugenicists are still present in our world today?
Of course, look all around you. Here's a common procedure of screening for birth defects of a fetus in its mother's womb. New technology has enabled us to detect genetic abnormalities by amniocentesis and ultrasound. If any birth defects are found, the parents have the hard decision of whether or not they can get an abortion.
Oh, so we're still selecting for more fit individuals and enforcing negative eugenics with abortion, aren't we?
Yes. Furthermore, we have in vitro fertilization, where parents choose the most healthy embryos.
Wow, modern eugenics really is everywhere, and our most controversial social issues revolve around it. This reminds me of the declining number of individuals born with Down syndrome. Did you know that 90% of the fetuses detected with Down syndrome are aborted?
Exactly. That's why we have issues on whether or not we should continue genetic engineering on humans. Although they seem beneficiary in curing genetic diseases, they still follow eugenics.
Wow, we should consider the ethics of genetic engineering on human beings before we conduct further research. Part 3. Welcome to the year 2400.
Welcome to Build a Baby. You two are the first to have the option of completely designing your newborn. We can start blueprinting your child's genome today.
How long will this take?
Well, it all depends on how long it takes for you to choose. We also have some default genes that include guaranteed health and intelligence. Would you like to include these complementary options?
Yes, that sounds very nice.
Splendid! Your baby will be ready whenever you like.
Thank you so much. I'll be back next week to finish arranging her genome. She's gorgeous. She turned out exactly how I wanted her to.
Well, dear, what did you expect?
Let's name her Eve, because she was the first female completely genetically designed. Hey Eve, what are you doing this summer?
I'm going to finish my book, Hereditary Genius.
What's that? How can you read already?
I'm not quite sure. I think I just taught myself one day.
Oh my god, are you serious? I feel so dumb now. Eve, you need to hurry up. Harvard isn't gonna wait for you forever.
Wait, I'm not ready. I don't understand, Mother. I've come so far, but I've never felt challenged while my peers have to struggle to get even close to where I am.
Well, of course, you're perfect. I made sure of that. Okay, we need to hurry up. The plane's gonna leave soon.
What? What's going on here? Why does everybody look the same?
I believe eugenics is a very serious topic and should not be taken lightly because it can lead to a superhuman race in which all beneficial traits are present in one human. And if too many superhumans are created, competition would be limited and genetic diversity and variety would be eliminated, making everybody somewhat the same.
Babies found to have trisomy 21, also known as Down syndrome, before birth are aborted commonly because the parents don't want the responsibility of taking care of that child until they're grown up. But it is believed that a child with Down syndrome is a gift from God, and they should not be aborted.
The problem with eugenics is that it takes the assumption that we know everything about our genes and that the quote-unquote bad genes now will always be bad. But that's not true, as we see with the sickle cell anemia gene, because that's actually advantageous and resistance to malaria. So if we decrease the genetic diversity of our race, it's going to affect us in a negative way in the future, and that's why we shouldn't follow eugenics.
Eugenics sounds good and all, but when you think about it, it really limits us to what we think is good for us. But like Meilin said, we don't actually know what's good or bad for us without fully understanding what our genes are capable of doing. Also, I think that eugenics would give an unfair advantage to people who just have more money. And also, I feel like humans wouldn't feel as original or special if we were designed by other humans, if we weren't given the equal chance as everyone else to succeed. Also, giving everybody quote-unquote good genes wouldn't necessarily guarantee them success. There are still characteristics out there that can't be determined by their genes, like bad tempers or decision-making. Even if they're intelligent doesn't necessarily mean they'll make the best decisions in their life to succeed.
Part of the reason why I disagree with eugenics is because of this idea of natural integrity. I feel like each human being should have an equal chance of succeeding. Someone who's not so wealthy can still have a chance to succeed. However, in this world where people who have more money can genetically alter their children, they'll literally become genetically inferior. Also, I feel like the idea of engineering children is demeaning to women because it basically turns women into a vessel to produce the most successful, the most perfect human being that science can produce. Part of the love that a mother has for a child comes from the idea that she'll accept her child no matter what. She'll love her child unconditionally, not because her child's perfect.